Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Aaron is here. Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult. All right, welcome back to our next edition in our humanitarian mission of identifying every single member of Scientology's secret police force in downtown Clearwater for the safety of the community. Guys, we can't have Scientology's secret police force out there just wantonly committing crimes. No one knows who they are. No one knows their names. They cover their faces in public. They're following citizens. They're harassing them. They're trying to identify them with their license plates. They're battering protesters. They're completely out of control, everybody. So we have to identify Scientology's secret police force, every single one of their members. There's about 40 to 50 of them. Every single day that we either get a photograph of a new member of their secret police, or we succeed in identifying one of the already unknown people who we have a photograph of, I will do an update video. Yesterday, we got lucky. We got a new photograph, and immediately we're able to identify him using many of our well-placed inside sources in the Scientology cult, you guys. All right, let me show you what we have. We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to start with the unknowns so that as many new eyeballs as possible get on these people who might know them. We have the famous Mateo. Now, he's not as famous as the other Mateo, okay? But this is the most famous unidentified Mateo. We need his last name. This is called Mateo number 1. Okay, we then have this guy. Have not been able to identify him. I'm told he's Australian or New Zealand or a New Zealander. Don't know who he is. We'd like to find out who he is. Another unknown guy. Don't know who he is. Let's find out. This is a face. We saw him for the first time a couple days ago at Scientology's Sandcastle facility down by Coachman Park. Would love to know his name. Another guy. Some of my contacts remember him. They know him. They just cannot remember his name. Who is he, guys? Let's find out. We have, okay, now we're going to start with the knowns. Brett Bauk. And by the way, I want to say right off the bat, any of you Clearwater citizens, particularly, if you see any of these secret police, Scientology secret police force members downtown with their faces covered on public property, that is a violation of Florida state law. And if you see this and you know who they are and you have their name, please feel free to report them because they're all licensed security guards, officially licensed security guards through the state of Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. It is a violation of the law for these licensed security guards to cover their faces in public to conceal their identities. If you see them, please feel free to report it to the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. I have included a link in the description of this video for where you can file your complaint. And really, it's best to file a complaint if you know who the person is, in my opinion. If you want to file a complaint, even if you don't know who the person is, that's totally up to you. So here's Brett Bauk breaking Florida law, member of Scientology's secret police force. Andrea Selva, Tyler John Gaffney doing the same thing. Kiefer Hines doing the same thing. Ricardo De Quevedo, the famous, the one and only, doing the same thing. Mateo Casiello. Mateo, one of the security guards who does not cover his mouth and nose in public. He does obviously cover his eyes like that, but I'm not sure that's probably not a violation of law. Mateo's father is Luigi Casiello, who was a Scientology staff auditor in Italy. By the way, whoever was in the chat yesterday saying that Luigi was their auditor in Italy, please, if you're here, if you see this in the live chat or in the comments, tell me which org. Was it Brescia? Was it Padova? Was it Milano? I forget the other orgs, but yeah, I'd love to know. Okay, Martin Stillhard. I think we have verified that Stillhard is the correct spelling of his name, not Stillhart. Martin Stillhard, rumored to be a real hit with the ladies in the Sea Org. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, we have Adam Rivera, again, not covering his face, but this photo was taken indoors, and Scientology's secret police force members only cover their faces when they are outdoors. Okay, Gabrielle Stefani, again, does not cover his face, even when outdoors. Good for Gabrielle. Here's the new face and the new name that we were able to identify yesterday. Bendek Parnek. Wait, let me try this. Parniake. Bendek Parniake. He is Hungarian. It is unbelievable how many Hungarians there are in the Sea organization and in Scientology, way out of proportion to the number of Hungarians there are in the world. So make of that what you will. Actually, Bendek might be the last guy we have on this deck for right now. So there you go, guys. I mean, I'm trying to keep these Scientology secret police unmasking videos as short as possible, so as many people will see them as possible. For some reason, almost nobody sees these videos. I do not know what the deal is. I mean, I think the video I did yesterday with the new additions to the unmasking of Scientology's secret police force might have, and I'm not exaggerating, been my least viewed video of all time. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why notifications aren't being pushed out. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's the title. I don't know if it's the thumbnail. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible. Let's run through some starred comments, and then we will wrap this up. Okay, CO Bill says, partial list of additional flag personnel who hold Florida security officer licenses. Giorgio Aguirre, Maria Arias, Geraldo Avila, Gabor, Gabor Bako or whatever. That seems Hungarian as well. Gloria Blake, David Bashore, Francesco Casiello. Hey, that's the same last name as Matteo Casiello, right? Incredible. Let's see. I had another thought about that. In fact, not only are all of these security guards officially licensed security guards through the state of Florida, but many of them are also licensed to carry a firearm in the course of duty. And it's interesting that they don't carry a firearm, and yet they are licensed to. In fact, last night I even checked the one Scientology security guard for whom I'm currently facing misdemeanor battery charges against for the infamous powder smurfing incident. He turned blue for a moment when he unfortunately came into some contact with some Child's Fun Run powder. I'm talking about Tyler Gaffney. Now, Tyler Gaffney is what everyone has called him his entire life, but apparently his legal name is John Gaffney. This is a Scientology Sea Org member, a Scientology Sea Org officer, meaning that's his rank. He holds an officer rank. And he is a licensed security guard. He is licensed to carry a firearm. It's a Class G license, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So a Scientology Sea Org officer and licensed armed security guard is the guy who tried to tell the state attorney that he fears for his safety when he sees me outside the building. Mr. Gaffney, I dare say, if you fear for your safety at the mere sight of an ex-Scientologist, you perhaps may not be qualified to be a security guard and may not be mentally stable enough to be licensed to carry a firearm. It is quite interesting, isn't it? Let's see. There was something else I wanted to say there. I have some other notes, but let's just go through a couple of these comments. Jenny, Aaron, did you hear about Zero Dark Tony's hearing today? He's going to jail. I don't follow anything to do with Zero Dark Tony, but if anyone has some video links or timestamps they want to send me, please do. But I've put all that. Do you know what a time suck it is? This is not a negative response to you. This is just commentary. What a time suck it is. Was at one point to sort of feel this compulsion that I felt to constantly stay up to date on all the stupid fighting and the drama and the hate comments and the response videos and the blah. As of 3 weeks ago, I put it all behind me. I don't even check. I don't check the blogs. I don't check the forums. I don't check the comments. I don't check the live streams. And my life feels so much lighter. It's amazing how much the drama ceases to exist when you're not actively searching for it and looking for it. And it changes your worldview a little bit. Worldview is an exaggeration. It changes your view of the community. It changes your view of your own community, your own life. When you're like, oh, you mean when I don't actively go out and seek the hateful stuff that like 12 people are saying, all of a sudden it seems like they've ceased to exist. And that's because they have ceased to exist. To the world, they don't exist at all. The only reason they ever existed in my world is because I kept actively going and searching for it and looking for it and consuming it. And then once I stopped, it's like It's like the clouds parted and the sunshine came out, and all of a sudden I was able to focus more on what I needed to do and actually feel better and more healthy and everything. So anyway, no shade on mentioning it, but if you want to send me some links and some timestamps, I'd be happy to check it out. Okay, Adcox question: how much do these people get paid? Oh, these people, these members of Scientology's secret police force, $47 a week after taxes. I'm not kidding. They're $47 a week. They don't, $47 a week is what they make. Okay. CO Bilf says Ricardo de Quevedo changed his name a number of years ago. He was known as Herbert de Quevedo when he was in the NYPD, in case anyone was looking for his jacket. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you. I'm going to share that information with my good friend Eyes on the State. Thank you for that, CO Bilf. You're amazing. Arkansas Flamingo: since John Gaffney went to the hospital, can y'all get the medical records of the dyed cornstarch incident? You better believe we're getting those medical records. You better best believe we're getting those medical records. By the way, I wonder, do licensed security guards have to go through any sort of a protocol of being, I don't know, pepper sprayed in the face as a part of their licensing requirements? We're going to have to look into that. Yes. Let's see. I also had some other comments. Okay. These last comments are just for some other stuff that we're going to be covering in some other videos later today and also tomorrow. Guys, you're not going to believe this. In the footage that Mark Bunker shot outside the Fort Harrison Hotel back in 1999. Now, guys, I grew up in a cult. I'm not that good at math, but I think that was about 26 years ago. Okay. In the footage that Mark Bunker shot of Bob Minton, the head of the Lisa McPherson Trust, Bob Minton and other members of the Lisa McPherson Trust protesting outside the Fort Harrison Hotel. He captured all of the Sea Org members and then security guards, even though these security guards were not wearing Sea Org uniforms. They were not wearing Sea Org uniforms. They were wearing what they call civvies, civilian clothes. Mark Bunker recorded many people, but one of the people he recorded was a man named Antonio Avila, out there engaging with protesters, harassing protesters, intimidating protesters, goading protesters. And Antonio Avila was one of the Scientology Sea Org security guards whose job it was to provoke the protesters to respond in a way that would allow the Scientologists to claim that some crime had been committed. In other words, Antonio Avila was one of the Scientology Sea Org security guards responsible for framing protesters with the goal of getting them prosecuted. That was 26 years ago. Do you guys know who the security chief of the Flag Land Base is this very day? The one and only, the same, Antonio Avila. The same people responsible for harassing and framing protesters 27 years ago is in charge of the entire security force of the Flag Land Base today. Also, 1999. What Sea Org security guard was responsible for standing directly outside the Fort Harrison Hotel? Jose, I'm going to forget his name. Jose. I have his name. We're just going to call him Jose, okay? That was 26 years ago. The exact same Sea Org Scientology security guard still stands outside the front door of the Fort Harrison Hotel 7 days a week, 365 days a year. He's the guy who's been interacting with all of us protesters every single week in downtown Clearwater. The point of what I'm saying here is the same Sea Org security regime that was tasked with framing and harassing Scientology protesters is the exact same Sea Org security regime that is in place today. Scientology's tactics back then, same tactics today. Scientology's personnel back then, same personnel today. Here's one of the other reasons I think that's interesting. In this video that I watched this morning from 1999, Bob Minton is on camera saying he had just spent the earlier part of the day meeting with, in his own words, the Pope of the anti-Scientology movement, State Attorney Gabe Cazares. The Pope of the anti-Scientology movement, State Attorney for Florida's 6th Judicial District, Gabe Cazares. how far we have come from 1999. Gabe Cazares has since retired. He's since passed away. The new state attorney for the 6th Judicial District of Florida is Bruce Bartlett, the one who is presently today engaged in malicious prosecution against me. We have gone from the state attorney of Florida being the Pope, the state attorney of the 6th Judicial District, being the Pope of the anti-Scientology movement, to the state attorney for that district maliciously prosecuting ex-Scientologists and Scientology protesters. Do you know what Scientology did to Gabe Cazares because of his work to expose Scientology abuse and fraud and crimes? They tried to frame him with a hit and run. They intentionally set up a fake hit and run to frame him and try to get him prosecuted and try to him get removed from office. Is it possible that the leverage Scientology has over Bruce Bartlett is just that implied lingering threat? You know what we did to Gabe Cazares. Don't think we couldn't do that to you. Is Scientology using the carrot with Bruce, or is Scientology using the stick? We may never know. But it is the exact same personnel using the exact same tactics today as was back in 1999. And back in 1999, Scientology was at war with the state attorney for the 6th Judicial District of Florida. Now, the state attorney is doing their bidding. We're not going to let this go. We're not going to let this go. I mentioned yesterday, I'm now, Bruce Bartlett, the state attorney, has now filed a second misdemeanor battery charge against me. Totally malicious, totally uncalled for, and is using his second charge against me as a justification to try to get my bond revoked for the first charge, and is asking the judge to revoke my bond and remand me into jail for the until my trial, which would be at least 90 days. Bruce Bartlett is trying to get me put in jail maliciously. It's unbelievable, guys. We're not going to let this go. Okay, let's see. That's all I have on this for now. Much more to come later today. Stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.